My name is Gregory Creswell. I was born and raised in Detroit. I'm a class of 1975 Chassis High School. I attended Wayne County Community College, and I took up the fire science class and the fire protection technology class. I wanted to be a firefighter out in LA. I was 18 years old. And to my dismay, I just couldn't pass the fires test. So I've been with my current employer for over 40 years. And my best job, as they say, was as a paperboy. It was a 1 hour route, and I did it in the afternoon after school. My parents gave me the okay to do that, and I did it. It was fun. I had a chance to experience what it is to be an employee. I also grab a few phone numbers along the way. But that's the extent of my employment early at 15 years old. Well, my district includes parts of Detroit near, let's say, Ayden and Kelly, also Harper Woods, Grosse Pointe Woods, and Grosse Pointe Shores. So it varies from city to city, and it has all different, races. And so, for the most part, I don't keep track, but I can speculate. It's multicultural. All different kinds, from your party store to your garage, the mechanic, cleaners, churches, and all kinds. It varies from top to bottom. And I've gone door to door to as many as I could, and I got a chance to meet a whole lot of people to explain the libertarian philosophy of individual rights in the free market. Well, the Libertarian Party for the most part. And then, as I said before, when I go door to door and they ask me questions, I answer them in a way that espouses and advocates and defends individual rights in the free market. And I give examples, personal examples, as to why I became one officially in 1992. I started voting for them, which was Ron Paul when he ran for president in 1988. And to go back even further than that, I learned about them in my early 20s, in the early 1980s through talk radio. So it's different people that will listen and ask questions. Some try to trick me up with crazy questions, but when I speak to them in a calm manner and make it give them personal examples, they start to understand. And it varies from age to age too. A young person say, "Oh, okay, that's a good answer," while somebody that's a little bit older believes that it's best to let politicians take care of them, which is sure. I want to repeal the no-fault law. Repeal it. That is the problem here in Michigan. I have a slogan that says, "I'm running for office because the cost of our car insurance is too damn high." If we had a free market in Michigan, we would be able to go cross-border, out of state, and purchase our insurance, whether it be car, life, auto, boat, or whatever. But the way it is now, the regulations and the fees and the taxes and the permits and the regulations attached to the insurance business hampers the free market. It hampers the individual from being able to take care of themselves in a free society. What we have discovered is that when you have barriers to freedom, you have the oppression of the citizens in this state when it comes to providing for themselves, for their family, for their neighbors, or even for charity. And so if I'm elected into office, my first option, my first idea is to repeal the no fault law. I also believe that taxation is theft. When politicians have access to our income, there are over 50 different types of taxes in this state, along with fees and licensing permits. That is not a guide to a free society. I also will defend the Second Amendment. We have a right to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government and from criminals. And lastly, to reduce the power and control of politicians within the state of Michigan. Whether it's Detroit, whether it's Lansing, Wayne County, in the UP, whatever, politicians have too much power and control over our lives. Those who believe in individual rights in the free market. I'll take, for instance, the gun rights. Our party, the Libertarian Party, founded a pro-gun group called Grassroots. I'm a founding member. We were able to defeat a few politicians back in the 90s who were opposed to our right to own a gun, as many as we want, to defend ourselves against a tyrannical government or against criminals. So it would be those who believe in defending individual rights in the free market who I would seek out and hope that they would walk with us and to defeat those who want to oppress us, who want to hamper our rights. For one, is door to door. And if I can get enough donations, I would do it through ad, radio, print, TV. But for the most part, it would be door to door, neighborhood groups, and et cetera. So door to door for the most part. The same way, door to door, I've been involved in anti-tax rallies. I've been involved in pro-gun rallies. So I would continue on doing what I'm doing now, espousing the closing down, for instance, of the Federal Reserve, which is unconstitutional. So I would continue on doing just that, door to door, and attending and coordinating and promoting the right of individuals in the free market. Sure, the ones that are in charge of the permits, the regulations, the fees, and the licenses here in Michigan, I would, if I'm elected, would like to join those committees and help. And I would sponsor, co-sponsor bills to repeal as upwards of 95% of the government fees, license, permits, and regulations here in Michigan. For instance, they have one where you have to have a license to braid hair. That is outrageous for a politician to be able to dictate to you that you got to have a license for an individual to braid hair. I know for a fact that there are ladies that do it, and they do it without having to pay taxes and fees, and they make upwards of over $500 a day. Now, I don't have the patience to just sit there and braid hair, but I know some ladies, and let me say this too. I love the underground economy. As a libertarian, it just warms my heart to see people earning money, making money without the politicians' hands in their pocket through charging them with license and permits and fees and other regulations. People out there selling water, not without having to go to them politicians for a license. I know guys who repair cars and it's tax-free. I love the underground economy that keeps the politicians' hands out of everybody's pockets. Well, again, to continue on what I stated earlier, and that is to go door to door, meet with different groups, those who understand that politicians are the problems. It's got nothing to do with the person's skin color or sex. It's all about that person's mindset. And for the most part, in Detroit, in Wayne County, in the state of Michigan, of course you want to say the country, but I'll just stay within Michigan. It is the mindset that politicians have of controlling our lives, having power over our lives, having access to our income. We believe that however much an individual makes, what they own belongs to them and nobody else. The fact that a politician would tell them that, well, we know what's best for you. We know how you should run your life. We could tell you what time you should go to bed, what time you should be inside the house, like fascist curfew laws. And then you got to have a helmet to drive, to ride a motorcycle. And I mean, things of that nature just bothers me to no end. This is one of the reasons why I joined the Libertarian Party after finding out through talk radio that was the problem. It was always the mindset of that politician. And they also have supporters who are nosy people who want the politician to dictate to others how they should run their lives. Curfews, I'll go back to curfews. There's no way in the world should the government, politicians, be able to pass a law saying that my children, my wife and I's children, should be inside the house at a certain time. It's not their business. It's between me and my wife what time our children should be inside the house. Now, they was always inside the house at about, as they say, when the street lights came on, or they was on the front porch at a certain age, they was always with us. So at a certain point, it will always be up to the parents or parent or even the guardians to decide what is best for their children. I also think that it's wrong to have to pay taxes on our own property. If we paying taxes on our own property, then we don't own it. That is something that really irks me to this day, that we are paying taxes on our own property. Again, the biggest problem is the power and control and access to our income that politicians have over us. Me becoming a libertarian at an early age and reading about it and listening to them on talk radio, answer questions, and I went to their meetings for the first time and I asked questions myself. It struck a chord with me that this is the right party for me. And as a libertarian, officially since 1992, and I'm running for office now in District 1 for the state rep office. This is why I'm out there campaigning since 1992 in different offices throughout the years. Sure. Greg, Greg, Creswell.com. My email is small case I, period, A as in apple, M as in Michael, the number 4, underscore, G Creswell, Creswell @yahoo.com.
Detroit is Different is where you get information, artistry, history, music, and even comedy. Detroit is Different, a home for the culture of Detroit. Visit online at DetroitisDifferent.com today.